MSI is one of the premier mini PC makers on the market today, and boy do I have a treat. I have 4 of their Cubi series of mini PCs on the table. We're going to go through each one of them and compare and contrast and show you why one of these might be your next mini PC. So in a second, we are going to go through each one of these mini PCs, do a little bit of a tour of the outside, open it up, talk about the specs inside, and then compare and contrast the whole Cubi line from MSI. But before we do, I do want to pause to say that this video is sponsored by MSI. And what that means is MSI asked us to showcase these mini PCs on our channel, but all opinions are my own. So now, let's dig into the hardware. So we have 4 mini PCs we're going to talk about here today. At the top of the stack, we have the Cubi NUC AI Plus 2MG. One step down, we have the Cubi NUC AI 1 UMG. One more step down, we have the Cubi NUC 1M. But we're actually going to start off with this one. This is the Cubi N ADL. Let's go ahead and do a quick tour of the outside, including the ports. On the top, we have a nice little design with the MSI logo. On the front, this is where we see the first important ports. Starting from left to right, we have the courageous headphone jack. We have 2 properly labeled USB Type A ports. These are both 10 gigabit per second. That's why you can see the little label here. We also have a Type C, also rated at 10 gigabit per second, and also it does provide a DisplayPort out. This is an I/O indicator, and then we have the power button right there. On the sides, it looks like we have venting, but it actually is not perforated. This is just for show, but along the right side we do have a Kensington lock port so people don't run away with your mini PC. And hidden away a little bit right here is this little port. You need to use a needle nose pliers to get out the little piece of plastic covering it, but essentially you plug in a little power clicker. All right, and around the back we have more ports. We have a full-size HDMI port. This is HDMI 2.1. We have a full-size DisplayPort. This is DisplayPort 1.4. We have 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, which are really nice, and we have 2 more Type A ports. These are not clearly labeled, but they are USB 2.0. And then we have the barrel charger. I do not have the charger on hand, but according to the notes, it is a 65 watt charger. Along the top, you can see a little bit of venting from the grill. Now, there are 2 options that we'll get into for configurations. One of them is a fanless design. I believe this is the fan design. Along the bottom, you can see there's Intel inside. We have mounting ports for a VESA bracket, and then we have 4 screws to get inside the mini PC. So let's go ahead and unscrew those and see what's inside. And here we are inside of the system. Not much to note on the bottom plate here other than there is mounting options for a 2.5-inch SATA SSD and a little header, which we will show soon. Looking on the inside, you can see the configuration that it comes with. It has 1 stick of LPDDR4 rated at 3200 megatransfers per second. This is 16 gigabyte. So this is single channel, but I mean, they're not trying to market this for gaming. For production workloads, it should be fine enough, but you can upgrade it to more capacity if you want, or even a faster speed. We do see a full-size 2280 M.2 NVMe SSD, so let's take the plate off of that. All right, so we're taking off the plate. We see a nice thermal pad, but most of it is actually not touching the actual drive. This is a really simple, single-sided 128 gig Gen 3 SSD. So pretty small on storage, but that's okay, depending on your workload. And we do also see a Wi-Fi NIC here at the bottom that is also user replaceable. Now, under here, you can see the header for the expansion if you wanted to plug in a 2.5-inch SATA SSD. It comes with a little ribbon cable. Now this actually comes in 2 configurations, one of them with an Intel N100 processor and one of them with an Intel N200 processor, and you can get it in both fan and fanless configurations depending on if you want something even more silent. So the pricing for that, the N100 starts at $330 and the N200 starts at $370. Oh, and the overall size of this is 0.66 liters, so very tiny, It's nice to have user replaceable parts and also clearly labeled ports. So let's move on to the next one. Along the front side, from left to right, we have the courageous headphone jack. We have two clearly labeled Type A USB ports rated at 10 gigabit per second. We have a micro SD card slot. We have the same little LED indicator and then a power button that does light up. Along the left side, we have a Kensington lock port, and around the right side, we have that same header for the power button. Since we have it here, I'm actually going to take it out to show you. So you use little needle nose pliers to get just a little bit of a grip, pull that out, simple little piece of plastic, and then you grab the header for the power button. It's clearly labeled power switch. Underneath it's SW for switch, and then you just put it in, make sure that it's lining up with the pins, and boom, there you go. You got an external power. Alongside the back, we see venting here at the top, but then the ports from left to right, we have two more Type A USB ports. These are both clearly labeled as USB 10 gig per second speeds. We have two HDMI ports. This one is rated at HDMI 2.1, so it does support up to 4K 60. This one is also HDMI 2.1, but it does support MSI PowerLink. This is something I've covered before. This is essentially MSI's version of HDMI CEC. So if you have this compared with a compatible monitor, you can turn on the monitor and it will tell the mini PC to turn on as well. Really nice. We have two Type C ports. These are actually both Thunderbolt 4. They do display port out 1.4 in alternative mode. The right one, you can see a little charging cable right there. This will do PD at 100 watts, just in case you don't want to use the included barrel charger. It also will provide 10 watts of power out if you want to power something, so that is nice. And last, two Ethernet ports. These are both rated at 2.5 gig. Around the bottom, we see the same kind of VESA bracket support here, and then a simple to get into bottom chassis with 4 screws. So let's do that. And like that, we are inside the mini PC. I will say that all of these mini PCs actually feature captive screws, so you're not going to worry about losing them if you do need to get inside. Alongside the bottom, we have the same mounting points for 2.5-inch drives, whether it's a SATA SSD or a spinning platter. We'll talk about the header in a second. Let's tip this up and see what we're working with here. With the bottom off, we can see the configuration options here. We have dual channel on the LP DRAM. We have DDR5 modules here rated at 5200 megatransfers per second. I will note the bottom one here actually has a little bit of a thermal pad to help dissipate heat into the motherboard. We can see for storage, we actually have two options for M.2 NVMe drives. One of them is the 2280 slot, and then the other one is a 2242 slot, which is a little bit of an odd size, but it is nice to have that extra storage option. Now let's see what we got working with underneath this drive. All right, let's take this heat spreader off. We can see there is a thermal pad for the drive. This is the 2280 Gen 4 drive. This is single-sided from Western Digital. We'll talk about capacity in a second. Underneath that, you can see a user serviceable Wi-Fi card. This one actually has antenna leads that go around the perimeter of the chassis to get a little bit of better signal. The last thing to note here is that SATA header. We talked about being able to expand into a 2.5-inch drive. So this is the adapter cable, and there is the header where you want to plug it in, and you just line it up and push it down. It does have a little bit of a click to it, and it does go in one-sided, so you are going to have to take the NVMe drive outside of it and then go ahead and reinstall that when you're ready. But it is a nice solution to be able to add some more storage, and if you want to get it out, you just give a little pull on that and it pops right out. Now in terms of configurations, we actually have 3 options to choose from. All of the processors are Raptor Lake based. At the low end, we have a 100U based processor with a 0.5 terabyte drive and 16 gigabytes of DDR5. That comes in at a cool $500. If you want to step up to a 120U based processor that will get you a 500 gig SSD and another 16 gigs on the DDR5, and that is a cool $700. And if you want to get the top of the line configuration, that is a 150U based system, which we actually have right here, and that comes with a 1 terabyte drive and 32 gigabytes of DDR5, and that will cost you a cool $1,030. Now let's go ahead and put this back together and get to the next mini PC. So let's go ahead and look at the system itself. Once again, real simple stylings with the MSI logo on the top. Around the front, from left to right, we have two clearly labeled USB 10 gigabit Type A ports. We have another 10 gigabit port, but this one is Type C, and then we have a power button that does light up. Around the left side, we have a Kensington lock port, just in case you don't want your mini PC to walk away, and another one of those power switches, which I really do appreciate. Along the right side, we have nothing, just a little label. Alongside the back, so once again we have two HDMI ports. These are both HDMI 2.1. You can see one of them is clearly labeled that has the MSI Power Link feature, which once again is like HDMI CEC. So if you have it connected to an external monitor that supports it, then you can turn on the monitor, and it also turns on the mini PC itself, which is nice. And then we also have two more Type C ports. The lightning bolt thing indicates that these are Thunderbolt 4. You can get DisplayPort 1.4 out of them. It also provides PD out at 15 watts and can receive power up to 120 watts. So if you wanted to power the system off of USB-C, you could do that instead of using the barrel jack. Along the bottom here, similar kind of story. We see the mounting for the VESA bracket. You would essentially mount it here. And the VESA bracket is pretty much the same size as the mini PC itself. It is so tiny. And once again, we have 4 screws to get into the system, so let's do that. So we once again get in with these captive screws. You just kind of pull on them to get the plate up. Along the bottom, you see that there's a little bit of a different configuration here. We actually have a little bit of thermal padding for both of the M.2 NVMe SSDs. We have one pre-installed and then one configured here, but be sure to peel back the extra layer of protection there before you install it. And you can see they're both mounted to what I'm going to assume is a little copper plate to help wick the heat away. And once again, like the other Cubi NUC, we are seeing support for dual channel memory in this one. These are once again DDR5 modules rated at 5,200 megatransfers per second. We have 2 of them. This one, interestingly enough, does not have a heat pad in the bottom. And for storage, it's the same kind of story. We have a full-size 2280 M.2 NVMe SSD. This is Western Digital, and it is a Gen 4 drive. We also have support for a 2242 drive here, if you want to expand your storage that way. And let's go ahead and take this drive out to see what's underneath. It's a single small screw. It is not captive. We see that the drive is single-sided, so you don't have to worry about thermal pad on the other side. And we have a replaceable Wi-Fi NIC. This one comes pre-installed with a Wi-Fi 6E. So a nice specification, but you can switch that out if you want. And you can see once again the antenna leads that lead around the perimeter of the chassis for better signal support. In terms of configuration options, we have 2 processors to pick from, and they both are coming from the Meteor Lake family, so they do have dedicated NPUs for all your AI tasks that you might want to do. At the low end, you have a Core Ultra 5 125H. That one starts at $770. If you want to step up to the Core Ultra 7 155H, which is actually what we have here, it starts at a cool $1,030. Let's put this back together and get to the last mini PC of the day. Once again, we have a simple styling with the MSI logo at the top here, but let's look at the ports. A little bit different in configuration. From left to right, we have the power button, which actually doubles as a fingerprint sensor, which is nice. We have the courageous headphone jack. We have 2 clearly labeled USB Type A ports. These are both rated at 10 gig per second. We have a micro SD card slot and a dedicated Copilot button for all your AI needs. Along the left side here, we have a Kensington lock port, and we have, once again, that external power switch. Along the back here, we see the venting at the top, left to right. We have clearly labeled 2 USB 2.0 Type A ports. We have 2 Thunderbolt ports. These are Thunderbolt 4 ports. This one supports PD in at 100 watts. It also does do PD out at 15 watts if you want to charge a device. We have an HDMI 2.1 jack, and that is also clearly labeled with the power link. We have 2 Ethernet jacks, both rated at 2 gigabit per second, and then the barrel charging. Along the bottom, we have the mounting points for the VESA bracket, and once again, 4 screws to get inside. All right, we are inside, and we see a little bit different a configuration. This, mounted along the bottom, pre-installed, is actually a speaker. Terminates to a little header here on the motherboard, so be careful if you're pulling this off. You don't want to disrupt that speaker, but I've actually haven't really seen this in other mini PC options. It is nice to have a speaker option if you don't have something readily available at your desk. So I'm actually going to disconnect this so that it does not get in the way. Now we can look inside. Now the first thing you're going to notice is, hey, we don't have any options for upgradable RAM. That is because this is a Lunar Lake based platform. We'll get to that in a second, but you can see that we have, once again, a full-size 2280 NVMe SSD. So let's go ahead and pull off that heatsink. The heatsink off reveals a similar thermal pad. We have a single-sided Gen 4 2280 NVMe SSD. And then underneath, we have the Wi-Fi NIC. This is, once again, Wi-Fi 6E. And like I mentioned, this is an Intel Lunar Lake-based processor platform, so the DRAM configurations are on the package itself. They are not user upgradable. There are 2 configurations that you can get, starting at the Core Ultra 7 258V. This one starts at $950 and comes on the package with 16 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. If you want to step up to the Core Ultra 9 288V that has 32 gigabytes of DRAM on the package, that'll start off at $1,050. So that is a look of the hardware inside these mini PCs. Now, I didn't do any testing because this is a sponsored video, but you can actually see some independent testing that I've done on a couple of these systems on the channel before, so go back and search if you would like to see that. But before we wrap it up, there's a couple things to point out about MSI systems. All of these are available via Newegg, Best Buy, B&H, Micro Center, etc. So they're easily available to get your hands on. Also, MSI takes testing and reliability seriously. You can actually go over to the MSI web pages for all of these systems and kind of look at the reliability testing that they do on these systems. You also saw that they have configuration options both internally to be able to user service some of the aspects of the systems, which I really appreciate, but also they do come with pre-installed MSI Center within Windows 11 that you can further configure and tune the performance of each of the systems. And the last thing to note is that these 3 systems right here actually contain a percentage of post-consumer recycled plastic. So MSI does really care about making sure things are good for the environment. You saw all the packaging is really simple, easy to recycle stuff, and so that is a thumbs up to MSI for that. If you have any other questions about these mini PCs, please get down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to subscribe to PCWorld for more mini PC and other computing videos. We will catch you in the next one. Bye.